Underground
Can't believe we messed up.
Podcast.
I know. Sorry, folks. We have a bit of an apology to make. On our previous episode, we mislabeled it as number 17, when 17 was in fact already recorded and will be appearing online shortly.
This is 18.
No, this is 19.
This is 19.
This podcast is 19. The previous one that we called 17 is actually 18. And then the one before that we called 17 is 17. We did number 17 twice, mislabeled. Apologize for the inconvenience and frustration that probably came from tricking you into thinking you were listening to the same podcast again. So if you skipped the last podcast, go back, give it another listen. We promise it's actually 18, not 17.
No one will care.
We can't count.
No one will care. It'll be labeled right either way. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
So yeah, this two-way mirror thing, the mirror is big. Like, really big.
It's a body mirror?
It's you can see, like, the entire fucking bathroom.
Long story short, I guess there's a two-way mirror inside of a bathroom in a Chicago bar, and a female comedian saw this and got pissed off. And the guy who owns the bar, I guess, doesn't want to take the mirror out.
Yeah, there's a closet that you can stand in on the other side and look through the mirror, and it's got full view of the woman's toilet, the whole bathroom, really. So potentially someone could stand in there and watch girls pee and poop.
I've never... It's like I was telling you 2 seconds ago.
What
I don't get it.
Fuck. What the fuck,
I don't
man?
get it.
Who wants to see that?
She's peeing.
Seriously.
She's just peeing.
Like, dude, that's the grossest thing that people do is pissing and shitting.
Yeah. What is that? That's so
What the fuck?
bad on so many levels. It's so crazy.
Yeah, what a perverse fetish that is, huh?
No shit. I've always wondered
Of all
that.
the
It's
fetishes you could have besides, like, pedophilia.
Yeah.
That's got to be, like, the grossest one besides that.
It's those kind of guys that don't have, like...
Don't have, like, what? Fucking brains? Like,
No, they
logic?
don't
anything?
have easy jerk-off sessions.
No. No, there's, like, I'm sure there's porn online.
Yeah,
for
but it's
that
like
shit,
the
but-
standard...
Well, yeah, golden showers. and
The
all that
standard and weirdness of what these people are into, it's like... It's such a build-up. It's such a build-up to get off. Like...
stuff. Yeah.
And it's so extreme. You can get so extreme with all your sexual fetishes.
Especially because you know that owner's probably charging them to stand behind that mirror and watch girls pee for, like, a set amount of time.
Oh, you don't know that.
Oh, I'm sure he is. If he's keeping that mirror up, he knew about the mirror. I would not be surprised in the least if he's charging people to stand in that closet.
I haven't seen the mirror yet, so I would like to see it.
That's what it looks like through the mirror, the bathroom right there. Wow. Yeah, you can see everything. You can even see the fucking sink.
I don't get it.
It's not even like a tiny mirror or anything. It's like a fucking 5-foot tall mirror.
So when you look at the mirror from the bathroom side,
you can see in.
can you see inside the closet?
No,
Like
but
little bit? Just a little bit?
No, it's like a police mirror.
Okay.
Where
Because that was the only thing that I was thinking of was that because if he wants to hang these witch heads for Halloween and shit
that
like
was
that.
his excuse, but people, he hangs a witch head in there so they look in the closet and see a witch head and get spooked out.
Yeah, so if you see a little bit of a faint witch head in the mirror, it's like for Halloween, whoa, that's scary, that's creepy. But if you don't see it at all,
Yeah, it's a mirror. It's a
and
normal
you're
mirror
hanging
on
it.
the outside.
Yeah.
Like, so that he's just saying they'll happen to look in the closet.
yeah.
and
So he's
see
hanging a
head.
witch head in there thinking
Like,
that
what?
someone will just open the closet for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're not the fucking janitor. They're not going to go in the closet. Why would they need to open a public
Yeah,
bathroom
people don't do that.
closet?
Yeah.
Weird.
It's fucking disgusting, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
And the scary thing is that's probably not the first time that's happened at bars, too.
No.
You know?
No, there's so many fucking creepy things that people do.
There are. So that's the moral of the beginning of this episode. 2 morals. Number 1, learn how to count the right way from 17 onward.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And and number 2, check the bathroom mirrors if there's like a weird door behind it, because you might be getting creeped on.
Most definitely. Somebody's just
Spanking it while you go pee.
And
or
poop.
Or poop. Yeah, that's even worse.
I don't understand. It's so
Like,
disgusting.
oh, baby, yeah, defecate in the toilet. Woo! Poop.
Hey,
What?
Some people are into the whole chest bomb.
Yeah, I know. Scat fetish.
Yeah, some people. Is that what it is? Scat fetish? Oh, God. Oh, my God. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Disgusting.
Just a simple...
That's a motherfucker that watches Two Girls, One Cup and, like, gets horny watching it.
oh, my God. There's no place for that person at a simple strip club.
No.
That just doesn't work anymore.
No, they got to go to expensive ones.
Yeah, this guy's going to Mexico, getting videos from China.
Yeah, I feel like that's a
a black bag.
Yeah, that's like a rich person
smuggling
fetish,
it back.
Man. I know it's been.
Well, the big one's a snuff one, right?
Rich people. Well, yeah, snuff is even bigger, but because they're.
I mean, that's the biggest one.
They're killing somebody. Yeah, that's murder on camera. That's serious.
Yes. Lifeless.
Like, yeah, what? Like, that's some serial killer shit. But yeah, I guess that's a big thing for rich people. It's been rumored that they always have these crazy parties where they like degrade like women and stuff. They have them they pay them to show up at the parties just so that like all the rich dudes there can like piss on them and shit on them and fucking like throw money in their faces and like spit on them and stuff and just like degrade them. It's fucked up. They have like these superiority complexes where they want to fucking shit on a person.
And then it goes.
That's how much better they are because they have the money to do that.
It can go the other way too, right? Where when they feel like they have so much power, those are the guys that enjoy getting dominated by a dominatrix, right?
Well, yeah, that's typically what
They're
it
just
is
like,
too.
oh,
for
make
them.
me
They're
cry.
like,
I don't know the safe word.
They're like, yeah, just kick me in the nuts. Oh, baby, that hurts. Ow. Like, what? So enough of that. Let's get off of that topic.
Yeah, watch your fetishes.
Because that's gross. That's the other moral. Check the mirrors in bathrooms. Watch out for creeps.
Yeah, watch out for creeps. And you can watch out for creeps on theintercept.org. What kind of creeps? International spying creeps. Pretty good, right?
I like it.
Intercept.org.
For all your important news, the real news about the world, the truth, man.
A portion of the news. It doesn't cover everything. It's,
well, yeah,
it's very it definitely has its own niche of kind of news it likes to give you.
Yeah, it's news,
and I find that it's a lot of FBI and
law-based news.
Yeah,
like governmental
war, a lot of war news,
political news. Yeah, mm-hmm. But it's a great place because you're getting an unbiased opinion, not the Fox News Republican spin or the CNN bullshit Democrat spin.
Somebody told me it's like, well, you can't have news without a bias.
I think you can.
Can you?
If you have good journalists, like actual, real, legitimate journalists, they can give their opinion within the article of the news, but unbiased news would just be reporting the facts, and that's it. Like, and I think you can have that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a truly good journalist would just put the facts out there, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then, like, you could read their opinion added on to the article or something afterwards, but, yeah, unbiased news would just be reporting the facts, and that's out there, you know?
Yeah. I think we were talking about that.
It's not always opinion pieces online.
No, you're right. You're right. And I guess that's what makes it important to follow journalists and not
Fox News.
a news show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a big thing now. It's like, I read articles by this person and these two other people.
Yes.
Because it's the independent journalists that people really trust more so than the name that they work under, you know?
Exactly.
So to take in a bunch of different resources from a certain place, you know, it can get a little wishy-washy with everybody's opinion and everybody's slant on things, opposed to having a handful of people that you feel are super, super credible, right? And I bet you can find those people at theintercept.org.
That's right. And you can hear about these articles being elaborated and, covered. Then you can get our opinions on it through the Momentum Underground podcast. That was a long one.
That was good. That was good.
On, Podbean or the Stitcher app.
That's true, or the Stitcher app. But we run
applications for your smartphone.
For your smartphone, yeah.
The future.
Does that mean you're not in the future?
I'm not.
You're not.
I have a dumb phone.
No, it's not a dumb phone. It's pretty smart.
I got a handy-dandy flipper. See that for the camera. Smile for the camera. It flips.
You need to take care of that
closes. Thing. Dude, I've had this thing for like 2 years now,
Really?
and it's still running fine.
And they still do those, right? They still do the flips.
You know, they're like slowly cutting down on the options for these.
Yeah.
Like
What about
Verizon
the
only
slide
has like
ones?
2 of them now. I didn't even see slide ones last time I got this bad boy.
You'd still like the slide one. I bet that's going to be your next phone.
Oh no, I've had slide ones before.
Oh.
The reason I have the flip, I probably would go for a slide phone, but the reason I have the flip is because Verizon didn't offer a slide.
Oh.
And there was only like 2 flip phones now, so they're like trying to totally get rid of these.
Do you remember the phone that was like a little stick and you just... It would like...
it
turned
spin
into a
up.
long
Yes.
one. It was like a freaking switchblade.
Yeah, it spun out. Yeah, I used to have one of those. I loved that one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, those are neat, man. I only knew one person that actually had one. Well, I guess 2 now that I know you, but I never really remember seeing it.
Now that you know me, hey, we just met. Here's my phone. Now that I know you.
Since I've known
I don't know.
you.
I don't know who the hell's been on the rest of these podcasts. Some stranger.
Nobody knows.
Yep.
He leaves a scent.
So, let's get down to business.
And the first business is some music.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Faith No More.
So we have Faith No More, who made a new album, which I think a lot of people have been waiting for.
Rave reviews as well.
Not even waiting for, just some people might even be surprised because no one knew that they were going to get back together.
Yeah, I say good for them, huh?
I think it's the original lineup minus the guitar player.
Yes. But we still got Mike Patton, so
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that sexy voice is still in.
Everybody in that band. I forget his name, but their drummer, the guy with the long the dreadlocks, he played for Ozzy for a couple of years. You remember that?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was back in the day. It was that lineup was him and Zach Wilde and everything. But
Oh, yeah, when Zach was still in the band.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Faith No More,
yep.
and to celebrate that, I don't have the new CD because I don't believe it's out just yet, but I will find out when. But we're gonna play the I think a fan favorite, at least definitely for me, which is King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime.
Ooh, compelling title.
Yeah. So if you've never heard of Faith No More, get into them. This CD might be a good introduction because it's very diverse, fun,
Love them.
and it rocks.
Yep.
Definitely rocks. A lot of there's a lot of highlights to it, and Mike Patton most definitely has a lot in this disc. So check it out, Faith No More, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime.
Right, rocking it.
Which one are you, Brian? Are you King or are you Fool?
I'm a king. I'm so cool.
That definitely cemented you as the king.
It did, didn't it? I couldn't ever be a fool with that voice. Right?
Okay, down to business.
All right,
What's up?
down to business. What did you want to talk about? I believe you said Baltimore, correct?
Yeah, we talked a little bit last time, I think, on whatever number episode that was, about the Baltimore thing. I mean,
Did we? I think I mentioned the words Baltimore real quick, but I don't think we really elaborated.
No, not at
real
all.
discussion on it. So,
And
I don't want to feel like we're repeating ourselves.
no,
So
Oh,
yeah,
fuck it, we
yeah,
will
we
someday.
didn't really talk about it though.
I mean, that's a big thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks. Was there was a case in Baltimore where a young black man was arrested,
Yes.
and it took a handful of police officers to take him in. Now, the details of this thing, I think you can find everywhere, but the way in which he was arrested was a lot of excess violence. I don't even believe that there was any actual probable cause to arrest him because of just because of what he did. And in what I've been reading, he made eye contact with one of the police officers, and then they started chasing him. And then from that,
don't look at the cop.
well, from that eye contact. Now, let's keep in mind this guy. He has a record. He's sold narcotics. He's done a lot of non-violent crimes.
Yeah.
He does have one robbery case in his belt.
He
So
has
he's
been
done
a
some
criminal.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can arrest someone just by looking at them,
No, absolutely not.
unless you is there a warrant out and you recognize him and he's
Yeah.
on the loose? Oh
if
shit,
there
go
was
get
a
him.
warrant, then they would kind of
I'm
have
not-
to arrest him. There's
Yeah.
a warrant, but
I'm not sure if that's the case with this. All I know
Yeah.
is that from the eye contact, he was held down. He was roughed up even outside. He was dragged into a van, and what was it? by the time they got to the hospital, he ended up dying at some point, and it was his spine was severed near the neck, so like he got really messed up. They really messed him up, I think, in that van, and so as a result of that, which we've seen in a lot of cases in the United States in the last couple months, is that everyone's taken to the streets, especially in the communities where it happens, and they're just the big theme is one, that it shouldn't have happened with the circumstances of under like what this guy did. What did he do? You killed this fucking guy.
Right.
So we're angry about that, and two, they're angry about the this is just another how do I say this? This is just another case in a million different cases of the history of their community where there's so much police brutality.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And believing that there's that the system is weighs heavy on them and doesn't give them alternatives to get a way out.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean,
That's the gist of it. Yeah, and that's why
it's all over the
rioting
place.
and stuff. And there's been rioting, as I'm sure everybody listening to this has heard plenty about the riots and the gist of the main story. So my one main point about this, obviously, police brutality is never ever okay. But it's like we were saying on our previous podcast, there are plenty of good cops, and some bad eggs are the problem that have a tendency to spoil the bunch and make them all look bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think all of them, or, maybe I could be going too light on the Baltimore police. Maybe all of them are bad and it's a corrupt precinct, like we said, is possible too. But I don't think they're all bad unless, with further detail. Hell, if they are all bad, fucking get them all out of there. Get internal affairs in there and kick them all out. But my main thing is stop the rioting, everybody. That is not the way to effectively protest. That is going to perpetuate violence. That is not sending the right message.
No.
I'm so sick of the rioting. I'm on I'm on people's side in this. Which I would hope everybody's on their side, really. That is police brutality. That is someone's life.
Well, if you didn't refuse being arrested, Brian.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean fucking kill him.
Hey, you refuse, you lose.
Whoa. Click it or ticket. You should be the slogan writer for the police.
Oh, no. I don't have anything to do with that.
Don't do that. No, we don't want that. But seriously, come on, guys. The rioting is just gonna perpetuate violence and bring more down on you. Like, what do you think that these cops are gonna do when you're looting stores and robbing your neighbors? Really, because it's like that's your neighborhood that you're destroying. You're not helping anybody.
Yeah, you're hurting your neighbor's business.
You're hurting the way you as protesters look. You're hurting the neighbor's business. You're hurting your community. And it makes you just look like a piece of shit for the world. And the media is gonna take that and they're gonna fucking run with it. You hear way, way more about the rioting than you hear about the actual issue of the brutality.
Yeah, it's hard, right?
The rioting becomes the focus because of that, and it's fucked up.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the conversation can in some people, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, and it goes in a lot of weird ways, but one typical way is that you can tell when you're talking to someone who's literally just paying attention to the devastation of the riots and not why the riots happened.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh yeah, he shouldn't have killed them, but you're not going to get your message across, fucking up a CVS and stuff. And yeah, even they know that. I think even they know that.
Yeah, you think they know they're not
because
protesting or helping by rioting?
No.
I mean, that's kind of common sense, know?
It started out peaceful, right? And it's like you said with the police officers, There's going to be a bunch that are going for the Malcolm X side, right?
Right.
And I guess a big thing with this that has come to the surface with conversations with people and stuff like that, and I think we've talked about. We've definitely talked about the war on drugs, and I remember you bringing up something about a DEA agent on who they target.
Yes.
With the war on drugs, right?
Yeah, they have a demographic for sure.
So there's like a phenomenon going. You know, there's a lot of pieces to this social situation.
Oh yeah.
And one of them, I believe, is the war on the war on drugs and how shitty it's actually worked out.
It's been such a losing war that's just perpetuated. It's fucking ridiculous. That is not the answer.
Yeah, like
so sick of the war on drugs, man.
It's okay. So statistically, there are things that say that minorities and whites, or blacks and whites, they smoke the same amount of weed.
Right.
Statistically, it shows that there are many more minorities being incarcerated for whether it's traffic stops or anything
right.
that has to do with getting caught with weed. Okay? And, that sets up a kind of a flag to have a conversation about obviously,
racial
too.
tension. Yeah, absolutely. And racism. That's like, and that brings us right back to the bad eggs making the rest look bad too.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I'm sure there are racist cops.
No, definitely. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like absolutely there are, and it sucks. We need to get them out of there. I feel like I'm sick of them being protected.
There is a majority of what the hell was it? It's not an all-white force. There's a lot of black people on this police force in Baltimore.
It's not just white cops too. Exactly.
Yeah, so it's it gets blurry too with even the race, but it's like if you nab somebody for 2 joints in their pockets and they haven't done anything else, or if they have done something else, 2 more offenses with joints in your pockets, okay?
Right.
You get incarcerated. You may get into the system, which now you have a felony.
Yeah, you're in there. They
makes it very
everything.
Yeah, makes it very difficult to get anywhere from where you are right now.
Yeah, you're labeled as a criminal.
Yeah, it's hard to get a job. It's hard to do a lot of things with that stain on your record. And then if you get put into the system, and if it's the prison system, if you are nonviolent, there's a high percentage that you will become violent because now you're associated with violent criminals. You know what I mean? These are your associations now that you're in this place. So you come out a different product than you were before. You know? There's a transformation that goes down. And it's like, at least, with this one aspect of it, why, why do you think that the landscape looks like this with people in these neighborhoods?
Yeah, like
they're doing to me and to a lot of people in a majority of the United States a stimulant that is innocent to them, right? That we've now labeled as something medicinal and medical. It's like, there's a lot of things, a lot of conversation about it, Right. And to throw them into a system that totally destroys their life and gives them no incentive to want to get better or further themselves, you're going to want to embrace the stigma that is now onto you. You know what? Fuck it. I just can't get a job. I can't do this. What are other means for me to either survive or just get by? More malevolent activities.
Yeah, let's just rob a store.
Yeah.
At the first excuse we can get. In this case, a fucking tragedy where a person died because of police brutality. Let's just use that. There's our excuse. Let's fucking loot the shit out of everything.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like it's an overflow of tension that communities are having with being prosecuted so many times and having everyone around them have a certain legal and criminal scope on them for things that are nonviolent, for things that innocent people do. and then if you go through it and you come back, you're screwed. So it's like,
Oh yeah, no one wants to
To me-
hire a convicted
Yeah.
felon. Like,
to me, the war on drugs is cutting off people's potential in a very quick way. And when you do that,
Yes.
then you start to create a whole pool of people that are unincentivized to do something about anything
yeah,
for themselves. So then you create this cycle of poverty. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's poverty, it's drugs, it's violence. You know.
absolutely.
And I'm not saying everything is on this, but this is a big factor. If you get in trouble for something as innocent as a joint, you can be fucked.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
The rest of
Depending
your
on
life.
what state you're in and stuff, you
And
could
it-
be totally fucking
Yeah,
screwed.
and
You're
if your academy
ruined.
has quotas and is looking to get certain amounts of arrests for these simple infringements,
all about it, all about
do
those
you know what that's
numbers.
going to do to the community? It's going to make it look and act and end up being a little bit of Baltimore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
At least a piece of it is this huge,
Yeah,
this
I-
huge one-way ticket to just like to a place where you can't come back from
yeah,
easily. You know what I mean?
It's a perfectly good conclusion to come to. It may not be right out in the open for people to see, but it's like a pretty clear inference that you can jump to really fast.
Well,
by
because
connecting
sometimes you
that.
don't think about
Just
it
look
that
at
way.
the facts. Yeah, you just look at the facts that could cause it, and that's easily right up
Oh.
there. I'm sure that plays a role. Definitely.
There's like this idea that just communities run the way that they run, and that there isn't a history on how things get molded together and why people act this way and why people act that way. We just look at everything that's on the surface, you know?
Yeah, they
Man,
just
what a
look
bunch
at
of crooks. They
the
shouldn't have
main
did this
problem.
thing to CVS and this and
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they most definitely
Oh,
shouldn't
they definitely
have.
shouldn't. Yeah.
But why does no one ask the questions on where do these intentions come from?
Oh, dude,
Like,
yeah.
what's
there's always
going
a
on
cause.
with this?
There's always a cause somewhere in there, you know.
Yeah, and it's not simple. You have to you backtrack through the history of communities.
Yeah.
And what's going on in this community. You know, it's like yeah, man, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I can see when they talk about like, you know, it's a system that's built against us and this and that. When you look at certain angles to at least the criminal system and the prison system in these areas, you can see like, wow, these areas are ripe for the picking for arrests that will boost up departments in the police department.
Yeah.
in the police.
Oh yeah, and prison is a big business too. You got to
It's
fill those
huge.
walls to fucking keep the money going from the government, from local governments,
Yeah.
state governments.
I totally agree that they should not be looting and doing all these things, but
Oh, of course, but there's
It's a
usually a reason.
unfortunately, sometimes that is a huge symptom of suppression and just aggravation.
And the funny
from,
thing
from feeling
too
like
is,
all these walls are around you that you just can't climb over.
yeah, the shitty thing too about the looting is it seems like the police really don't give a shit. There's one article I was reading about well, like I was saying before we started the podcast, where people took pictures of the looting going on and stuff, and it brings out the animal in people.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, because they were showing pictures. They're just like knocking over all the coffees that were in the 7-Eleven and like knocking over the shelves, fucking up the employees if they didn't haul ass.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking up the place. And the best part was someone, obviously one of the owner or something, called 911. The police showed up 20 minutes later, 20 minutes into the looting. They drive up, don't even get out of their car. They just slow down. Then all the looters scatter and haul ass. And the police don't even get out of their car or anything. They just drive off. And literally right when they're out of sight, driving away from the scene, all the looters come back and keep looting.
Wow.
It's like they really don't give a shit.
Well, with everything going on at once in the city and you wearing a badge being a huge target, it's hard to say, would you get out of the fucking car?
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Like, it's hard.
I would
like,
probably just drive by too, like, oh, you're on your own, man. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, well, what do we do in that situation? Is that when we get the fucking SWAT team over and have to fucking get involved?
Well, then
like-
these are the situations where you
And then it
you
just-
begin to justify the police state, right?
Well, yeah.
And the
yeah.
department's getting all of these military
And
leftovers.
that's when they get all that stuff because, honestly, like the at that point, like, they're hurting each other too. Like I was saying, it's their neighborhoods, it's their neighbors that they're robbing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a police-owned 7-Eleven,
No.
you know.
It's just weird, man.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, we're advancing on how to protect ourselves when things get more extreme, opposed to investing in keeping things from getting extreme by giving the personalities the ability to like live a life that doesn't get them to that point.
Well, yeah, and it's such a tough call too, because like obviously we can't let the looters get away with looting. That still has to be dealt with, which would mean like arresting them and stuff again.
Oh, it has to.
So we need in those cases where the cops just drive away and there's that many people. That's when we need the SWAT to get in there.
Yeah.
Without like police brutality, though, so we like need to shut them down while at the same time trying to fix the problems that caused them to do it in the first place.
Yeah, or at least try to fix it when the smoke clears. You know.
Yeah.
Make the arrest.
We need
do what you need to do.
Do the arrest. But we need internal affairs to stop the brutality at the same time. And like, it's just there's so many angles that have to be dealt with in just the right, careful and precise way.
Yeah,
that's such a tough thing to tackle.
Oh, super tough, and it's just nice that more people are seeing it. You know, there's a demographic of people that have already known that this is going on. They live it. They know it. They know people that go through it. It's, this is life.
Right.
And now it's kind of this attitude of like, do you get it now? You know? Because now you and I are seeing this more and more.
Now that
because like I said, we're a generation of information and
it's on the
internet.
internet.
Yeah, and now it travels there. And this is the whole conversation about the transparency, you know?
One thing I love
when you shame pockets that should be shamed, something has to change. And this is a pocket that's about to get shamed, is the bad practices in police force.
Oh, absolutely.
And along with that...
Even like Anonymous is going after it.
And along with that, what's going on with these communities? Why do they always stay at this level of poverty? Mm-hmm. You know, what is this?
I'm sure the DEA plays some part in it, in the war on drugs, like you said. I mean, also, like, I think part of it might be, too, one of the best things that I loved recently in the news about Baltimore, I don't know if you saw it, was the video of a mother who recognized her son as one of the looters.
Oh, and she put a beat
down on
the
the shit out of him. She went to where the kid was because she saw it on the news. He was filmed looting. So she went there while he was still over there on the news and beat the shit out of her son. I think that's fucking part of it. Right there is the discipline, because a lot of the looters are young kids too.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the looters are kids who it's bad parenting too. I'm sure that plays some part. And I think we need to see more of that. Go get him, Mom. Beat the shit out of him. Yeah, smack him around.
I think it's just it's a mixed bag, you know. It's mob.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It's mob mentality.
Absolutely,
you know.
Absolutely.
If you know
enough angry people in one place.
Yeah, you go to an arena and your team loses, and you're not a guy who swings a fist once, and all of a sudden everybody around you it's turned into the fucking safari. You know, you're gonna start throwing down. You get drunk on the riot juice. You know?
Exactly.
It happens. It's such a weird frequency everybody taps into when it happens. You know, and it's everything. I think they just had an interview with that kid. I don't know what he said. You know, I don't know if he said like, "Yeah, it was a good thing she did that. She knocked some sense in me," or it's like, "I dare her to put her hand on me again."
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go loot again. You know,
I don't know what he said.
You never know, but
yeah, but no, man, I know what you're saying. It's
so complex.
It is.
There's a lot of different angles to anything like that.
Yeah, It's easier to just play the black and white side, and I don't mean that as in like skin color. I mean like
as in good.
When an issue is like black and white,
it's always gray.
Yeah, this thing has a shitload of gray. Nobody wants to talk about the gray, and when they do it, it's not a lot of people. You know, it's not a lot of people, and I hear a lot of people out when people when we get into these conversations and things, but by the end of it, it's like you want to tell them and have and do a conversation like this with them, but sometimes some people just aren't having it and they're stuck in their own ways, and you don't want to be, you don't want to come off as if you know all of it,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't because we don't know exactly how many people are convicted felons that are doing the looting. How many are just young, troubled kids? How many are actual maybe victims of police brutality?
Yeah. But there is a level of thinking deeper about these things.
Yeah, exactly. Like that these are all plausible reasons that people would do this stuff and plausible causes. Mm-hmm. So we need to look at all of it,
Yeah, what do you expect, man? When people don't have anything and all the sort of resources that they have are bad resources and not motivating at all, people don't want to just keel over and accept things. Mm-hmm. And sometimes these things are it's an overflow of just frustration. Yeah. And you don't know what you're doing, It's not a justification at all, but it's a sign. It's a sign of something.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I think part of the problem, too, with people looking at it as a black and white issue and not realizing all the gray areas that are in it is kind of dissociation, Like, I think it's so easy for people to just be like, well, I don't even live anywhere near there.
Definitely.
I'm not seeing that in my backyard.
Definitely.
So why do I give a shit? Lock all them up. Who gives a shit?
You're absolutely
don't even
right.
look at the problems.
Yeah.
Done with it.
And they've got a shitty example too. Well, my boyfriend, he's got a felony. He's never. No, your boyfriend's not as piss poor as these people, and he's white. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a big part of it. You know.
Oh yeah.
Your boyfriend is not this person. And.
Well, yeah, it's totally different.
To use one example of like, well, I know this person, and it seemed like they're in a similar situation, and they're doing a lot better. Yeah, there's a lot to that.
There's the whole different levels of poor too. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. They'll use that one thing and just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
why can't all they do this as easy as John did?
Yeah, like
the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe because there's no fucking jobs out there. Maybe they can't get a job. I mean, I'm sure some of it is. Like I said, there's always bad eggs too. But that doesn't mean they're all bad.
Yeah,
that's the same for police and people and criminals. Everything.
Of course.
Like, Jesus Christ, stop making it so fucking plain of an issue. Like yeah. It is. Everything's gray. Everything is always gray.
Super, man. Some things are black and white, though. Like
sometimes, yeah. Like
yes, if
like the Boston Marathon bomber. Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
That's a plain.
Yeah, you don't do that.
That's like straight.
And you don't beat a kid to death in a van.
Yeah.
When he's arrested. And then it's like, well, he was a criminal. Well, what kind of criminal was he? Yeah. Like, let's look at what he actually did.
He's a
and
criminal,
then let's look at the things that are
okay?
associated with that crime, the system that's associated with that crime.
Same thing as like torture and stuff
goes
overseas. There. It's like, oh, he's a criminal. That doesn't mean, dude, like the police, we're supposed to show people through the police that the law is a good thing and that the law is better. You need to be better and show people a better way and really embody and demonstrate that there's a better way than being a criminal.
Yeah.
And that, like we can show them a better way to live your life. Just because you happen to rob somebody doesn't mean that the punishment should immediately be, we're going to beat the fucking shit out of you so you never rob again and all this stuff.
Or throw you away. That's the thing. You make one mistake, like I was talking earlier, you just become a tissue thrown away. That's it.
Oh, well, yeah. Then you're just a blip in the prison system.
Yeah. And like it's like you said, like there's a responsibility to show that it is possible to rehabilitate some of society.
Oh yeah. And we need unbiased, impartial versions of the law too. There can't be. I'm so sick of hearing different shit about people getting special privileges when they get caught doing stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Like what I mentioned with the DEA a while ago, how they won't target wealthier neighborhoods because they know that they could know a judge or they can actually afford a good lawyer and stuff.
And if you don't think that these communities know that, then you're not looking at this as objective as you really need to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Not at all.
That is just another like nice poke in the ribs to these people.
Oh yeah, he can get away with it.
Yeah,
Speaking
they
of which,
know this. They know this.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I have another article here that's fucking frustrating. Did you hear about the former police chief that forced a teenager to perform oral sex on him?
I think I did.
Yeah, he forced her. He pulled him over. She was with her boyfriend too.
So many problems in the world have to do with the dick, huh? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. He get this. He pulls the girl over. They're like by a lake or something, and he says he's gonna get them arrested because he found marijuana in their car after searching it. He claimed he did. He didn't show them it or anything. He just said, "I found marijuana in your car, and if you don't want me to arrest you and press charges on you, then you're gonna have to fucking blow me."
Wow.
And he made her boyfriend walk like way down away, like a mile up the road, and he took her into the back of his police car and made her do it.
What?
And she did it because she was fucking scared.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a cop, and she didn't want to get arrested.
Where was this?
And he did it. She did it to him. It's in Douglas County, Nebraska. The incident initially took place in 2013, and now it's finally being settled in court. And here's the fucking kicker on all of this. This police chief that completely abused his power and abused a human being in one of the worst ways imaginable. He got off with a misdemeanor charge. Not even a felony, no rape charge, nothing.
So is he still on the force then?
He lost his job. He did. Which, oh my God, I really hope he would at least lose his job. But he's got a misdemeanor charge. That won't even, like, that's not a felony. That's not a serious conviction. That's treating that like it's not a serious crime. And he even tried to tamper the evidence to cover it up. It's like, that's corruption. That is corruption, plain and simple.
I think because of his position,
yeah, police chief.
It should be taken as a very serious crime. I think it should be taken.
Oh yeah,
just
serious
in general,
either way. But
I think
it
would be looked at a little differently.
Harsher.
If
anything, you should be punished harder for that.
Yeah.
Even worse than if just a random person tried to like force someone to do that, which is bad enough.
Oh yeah.
But you're a police chief. You're supposed to be a representation of the law and a pillar in the fucking community. Like,
absolutely.
Protect and serve. You know, they should have really thrown the book at him and put him in jail.
Oh my God, man! Go to Vegas for a weekend if you really need to get this shit down. $200 will get you whatever you want, and then you get to come home. Okay?
Exactly.
I don't know how they think they can get away with that. Is it like it's drunk with power and sexual suppression? You know, you suppress certain sexual needs, and it's going to explode in really uncomfortable and inappropriate ways. You know, There's a lot of ways that you can get your knob off, and
well, absolutely.
You know?
Fucking just jerk off like a normal human being. You fucking psycho. God, don't fucking hide behind a two-way mirror and watch someone shit. Before we wrap up with the podcast here, I want to end it on a positive note. Speaking of predators, guess who's got a Kickstarter campaign? None other than Chris Hanson. He's trying to restart the To Catch a Predator series.
Oh my God, really?
He's got a Kickstarter campaign right now to try and get it back. And you let the people put him back to catching fucking pedophiles, embarrassing them publicly, and making them never fucking want to do it again.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Bring Chris Hanson back, people. Find that on Kickstarter. It's called Hanson vs. Predator.
There we go.
Kickstarter campaign.
Give us somewhere we can go.
Check it out on Kickstarter, everybody. Right. Donate if you really believe in him.
Let's do it. I believe
in that cause.
Let's send these motherfuckers away.
That's right.
Let's find them.
Stop the predators.
Coming into the house with their wine coolers and shit.
Naked. Why don't you have a seat over here? Oh, God.
All right. So
that is
intercept.org, podbean.com. Please take a look. A harder look at what's going on with these protests and rioters.
Think more.
These people deserve at least your time to see what they've gone through.
That's right.
Yes, they've done things wrong and in the wrong way, but just look at it a little deeper. There's a lot of layers to that onion. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And,
always gray.
Yeah, and just watch your fetishes, and don't get so obsessed with your dick because it'll get
Don't
you
be
in
a
a lot of
fucking
trouble.
rapist.
You freak.
You freaks.
Absolute freaks. All right, what are we?
all right.
18, 19?
This is 19.
19.
Last one was 18,
Jesus
now it's
Louises.
17. Keep it straight.
Okay. Peace and love. All right, we
Bye,
got it.
guys. Have a good day. Night.